all you sexy motherfuckers, daddy fuckers, sister and brother fuckers? This is Disco Demonaltry coming at you with today's fucking video. So today's topic is, I'm going to be looking over here a lot because there's a lot of shit that I'm not going to really remember, so I want to make sure I say it the way that I wanted to say it. It's how to navigate through yourself through occult circles and groups when you're first getting started in the occult. So and honestly, man, these are things that you can keep in mind, like they're navigating through different aspects of life. So hopefully this helps somebody out. Now, in the beginning, you're going to have some pretty profound experiences, and they're going to make you feel kind of like they're probably what are going to be the things that lead you into the occult. You're probably going to have some kind of premonition type of things. You're probably going to see some shadow people. You're probably going to have some, when you were a kid, some wicked shit happen, and then it's going to lead you into the occult. Basically, that's kind of what happens. It's going to have to, in my personal experience, it had to be something that was more profound to me than what they were teaching in Christian churches and stuff like that, right? So, and these are going to be things that you probably can't talk to people, like normal people, you know what I'm saying, like people that you're going to encounter in everyday life, or muggles, like, so to speak, to borrow from Harry Potter. And they're going to, like I said, you're going to feel like, you know, pretty profound and all kinds of like, wow, this is happening to me, what is going on, what is so special about me. So unfortunately, I'm going to tell you this, is that you, because of these things are happening to you, okay, basically, I'm straight up going to tell you, you are not special. All right, there's not like, you're not this fucking supreme lord and like you were chosen. I think that's a lot of like a Hollywood, maybe Disney, watching shit like that, as hopefully Disney doesn't take this down. They're pretty fucking hardcore about that shit. But like if you maybe watch some movies that, you know, like it's always like, oh, they were like secretly hidden and they just lived a normal life and then something happened and they truly were a prince or some shit like that. I think that's kind of like implanted in our minds. So we think that like, oh, you know, this is it. This is finally, you know, my true father is going to come find me or whatever, right? So this is not going to happen. Sorry. I just have to figure it out. Yeah, so we all have the potential to be. Honestly, I feel that like the Abrahamic religions have like, you know, quelled our true potential, and so we need to find a way to expand and become who we really are in our own way. We all have different ways. We all have different entities that resonate more with us, and so this, you know. And another thing, unfortunately, because there are a lot of people that know that you're going to feel special, that know that you're going to come in here thinking that you're blah, 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 whatever, they will take advantage of you because of this. They will vampirize you. They will, like, you know, take your money. They will blah, blah, blah. Now, you're going to spend money when you're buying books and shit like that or whatever, certain things, whenever you're working through certain mediums as in people who work with entities, spirits, and shit like that. So there's going to be some of that, you know what I'm saying, to get some real information out there. But I would say do your research instead of just being like, oh, a couple of people said that they were great, so now you just think they're great. Now, I speak highly of certain people because I've worked with them, and sometimes you're going to have to take that chance, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're going to kind of see what they have to say, and the way I feel is like people who are really a little more open about what they have to offer and like what their communication with the spirits are the ones that are more likely to be trusted. You know, when you have certain people that are just like, they're closed mouth, they don't want to say shit, and they're just trying to push their book onto you. Normally, they may have some experiences. I'm not going to discredit like any of their experiences, but normally they're not the people that to fuck with, in my opinion, because they're going to try to charge you for every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Or they're going to lead you to believe like you're part of this elite group if you get into the information, which will close your mind off to other information. While keeping this in mind, okay, now let me see. So keeping this in mind, you're not special. Okay, so also, one of the things you want to keep in mind is that since you are not special, Neither is anyone else. All right. There isn't, they just have their journey. Maybe they've been on their path a little bit longer than you have. Maybe their calling was a little bit sooner than yours was, but they're not more special than you. Okay? And just because somebody's older than you doesn't mean they know more than you, or that they are more in tune with the spirits than you are. Or just because someone is younger than you doesn't mean that they are not. I've come across some people who are younger and they are fucking badasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't, age is not, and I know that goes against everything that we are taught, like as far as like listen to your elders and shit like that. But there's a way to apply both of those. Information can come from like any kind of avenue, but you should still respect people who are older than you, not because they know more than you, but because they've been through more in life. Maybe they have more aspects of understanding. You know what I'm saying, for certain reasons. So, but honestly, it's good to respect everybody. Just because somebody's older than you doesn't mean they automatically deserve your respect. You should respect everybody. Like, I respect people who are younger than me. I don't discriminate anybody for any reason at all until, like, personally they give me a reason not to. You know what I'm saying? Like, gender, the sexuality, like their sexual preferences, anything like that is not a reason to judge somebody. Race is not a reason to judge somebody. That's fucking retarded, And so a lot of these people who are older and wiser will judge based on those aspects of somebody's personality or life or whatever. So it's not, just because somebody's older doesn't mean they're smarter or, So also, one of the things you're going to come across whenever you're just beginning in the occult, you're going to come across people with names that are just wild. Now, I just made this name up. And if there's somebody out there who actually is called this, I'm not trying to fucking cap on you. But so you're going to have people with like these long ass titles, like ancient priestess of like the dancing blood moon, or like whatever, like just anything like hermetic goddess, or like they're going to come up with these long ass titles that make them sound like more important than they actually are. And it's all like a selling point. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these people are full of shit. I'm not going to say everybody because I don't know all of them, but everybody I've come across that has like a long ass name, Illuminati bullshit. Like if they're like into the, I get Illuminati requests all the time from like, from people on Facebook and shit like that. Normally they're full of shit. I'm not to say that like all members of any kind of sect or group is full of shit, but you want to be careful of people with long ass names or dressed in certain garbs or whatever, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And so, okay, whatever this people is. Okay, so now you're going to come across people who also have names like Priestess something. Like, or whatever, like, or Frater, whatever. There's certain reasons for that. And the thing is, there's like, sometimes people don't want their family members to know who they are. Sometimes people want to keep their identities kind of like hidden for other reasons, work or relationships, or you know what I'm saying. So that's understandable. Like that's okay. So if they go like priestess something, you know what I'm saying, like or whatever. It's like if it's a short name, but it's kind of like that's understandable. Like that's cool. But like once the names start getting like really long and they're like titles, that's when you want to start being careful. You know what I'm saying, like of these people, because like they're trying to. That you don't need fucking like 5 names in order to like represent your status or whatever. The gods aren't going to be like, I now decree you this, and this, and this. That's all bullshit. But there are people who use names like something. I'm not going to give people's names out, but there's some people like who use fake names because they don't want their real names out there, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah. So that there's like the differentiation. Hopefully that makes sense. Also, this is something I learned in TDC, which is applicable in the occult. So, be leery of groups that are going to gas you up in the beginning. Now, if you don't know what gassing up means, gassing up is like going to be like, oh, you're the best, you're the blah, 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 blah. Groups who are going to be like constantly pumping you up, like you're this and this and that. Now, I will use examples like the AB and the Mexican Mafia. They're going to be like, oh, fucking like AB will be like, oh, man, you're white, you're the white race, you're this and that. And they're going to gas you up to like, yeah, I'm the white race or whatever, to make you think you're fucking grander than you actually are. And then when you join the group, you're just some crash dummy ass dude who's going to go out. They're going to make you do fucking all this bullshit. So basically, they're just manipulating you into doing what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I mean is like crash dummy shit is like they're gonna make you out there. They're gonna have you out there fighting people, and like while they're sitting in the background just giving orders and shit, and you're gonna be out there doing the fucking work. You know what I'm saying? So the Mexican mafia would do the same things. Oh, you're a raza. You know what I'm saying? This and that, and like, and they try to gas you up to make you feel like you're, you know, something. And then when you actually join them, I've had cellmates who, especially I had one cellmate who was an AB. I was a cellmate with him for a couple of years. He, I think it was a year and some change. Anyways, it was a little while, not that long. But so he told me that his exact words were, "If I knew then what I know now, I never would have joined the Aryan Brotherhood." Like he never would have joined. He told me it's like, so once they got you, that's in. It's like it's a blood in, blood out kind of thing. Also, be careful of stuff like that. I don't think occult members have. There's any occult groups that like say you got to kill anybody to get in, but if there is, be careful. Sometimes with these free groups, like shit. Okay, so now there's going to be sometimes when you enter into groups, and some of these groups, like these online groups, they're going to ask you questions or whatever, right? And they're going to want to check you out to make sure you're not just some fucking jackass, which is understandable. Or they're going to try to like filter you because there's a lot of people who are like these. They're basically Christian and they're trying to do like reconnaissance, I guess, like, you know, whatever. They're trying to troll you or whatever. They're trying to troll certain groups. So they ask these questions in order to try to see if, you know, if you're a legit practitioner. And that's really hard to do, you know, as far as like to filter that out. So, you know, they're going to ask some questions or whatever. So do the best you can to answer them if you want to join a group. However, I'm going to tell you this, once you start getting into the occult, you're going to have group requests all the fucking time. Honestly, it's a pain in the ass. I don't even join groups anymore. I feel bad, like, sometimes because I know some of these people really mean well. But, man, I've joined, like, so many fucking groups. It's like, yeah, bro, I don't need to join your groups. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work well on my own. If you join a group, if you get, like, a coven or whatever, I think it would be better to do it in person as opposed to, like, online. That's my personal opinion. I have... just because of my experience online, like you're gonna have people, and then they all start out the same. You know, they're gonna try to demon of the day, stuff like that, which is cool. I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with that, but you know, it's like it's all these groups, man. If you don't have a good structure and a good people in the groups, like there's certain groups, like what is it? Tila's group. Tila has a good group. Tila Petrova, she has a good group, and so it's going to take work on your part. Like if somebody starts a group, they have to be active in the group. If you notice a group and like the admins are not active in the group, don't join the fucking group. You know what I'm saying, basically. Because if they're not into it, why the fuck should you be into it? Right, so so you're going to have people, whenever you first join certain groups, especially the ones that you pay, that they're going to like test you out or whatever kind of a thing. You know, they want to make sure they're probably... And so, but there's a balance there. So sometimes they're going to treat you like shit because they were treated like shit. So you're going to have to prove yourself to a certain degree, which I personally think is bullshit after a certain point. You know, if you're legitimate about like what you want to learn, and if you really want to learn the occult, you're going to apply yourself and learn, like do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to cover all the shit that I feel that you should do whenever. So I'll get to all that. So, like, there's no need for them to test you out. You know what I'm saying? Time will tell. Time will be the test of whether or not you're a true occultist or not. I have seen several people, I don't even know how many, that like all about the occult, hail Satan, all this kind of stuff, and then they end up fucking turning into Christians again. If I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why. But that's the way they are. So, time will be the test of their merit. You don't have to test them yourself. Time will do that on its own. The spirits will take care of all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's that right there. And okay, so now I'm to that point. So what you may be asking yourself, Disco, what what do I do? You're saying all the shit that you shouldn't do. You should watch out for. What should I do in the beginning? Well, in the beginning, you're going to read a lot. So how do you know what books to read? So you're gonna take some chances in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get. I would create a book list for you. of like basic stuff. Like if you're into Crowley, however you pronounce it. If you're into, see, but the thing is, like, your reading material is also going to can send you off into certain groups. So, I don't, Edgar Kerval, I don't know how to say his last name. Balkadmun is really good. Edgar has a lot of stuff like on, I'll try to come up with a little list of some books that I feel that, like, authors who are really good authors. Like, I got this book by V.K. Jehannum. I don't know if it's still available or not. I'm sure it is. I'm just talking out kind of my ass. But these are all starting points, and you're going to, from there, it'll lead you into where you want to go. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel what you feel, and some shit's going to resonate with you, some shit is not. This video is going a lot longer than I thought it was going to go. So, and focus on building, after you read a lot, read and focus on building a relationship with the gods, your ancestors, or both. Build relationships with your higher self and your shadow self, and your guides, and ask them to help you find your path. So that's what you kind of want to do, stuff like that. You know, like a really good author, Stephanie Connolly, in the beginning is to read a lot, and so Stephanie Connolly's really cool. She has, like, in the beginning to start out with, and it translates as you progress. Like, I still read her stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a really good author. V.K. Jehannum's webpage is really fucking good. He has a lot of cool stuff. I'm trying to think of Enoch Petrucelly. See, the only reason I want to say is that Edgar, I don't remember his last name, but that dude he writes some badass shit. I got a couple of books from him. That dude's fucking badass. And I would say, the way he words stuff, he's very much about, like, Qliphothic magic. And so, let me see. I hate to go into all these because if I leave somebody out, I don't want them to feel like I've left them out, because there's so many good authors out there. So, and honestly, I don't think I'll leave the list. It's just kind of like, I'll leave the Edgar, because I can't remember his name right now, and I don't want to fucking diss him. But there are a lot of good authors out there, and just kind of go wherever you're led to go. You know what I'm saying? I personally have not read very much by Crowley. So, not to say that he's no good. It's just that, like, I just haven't read a lot by him. Like, there's a lot of stuff that he writes that other people cover in their books to a certain degree. You know, like what they've learned from that. And so, yeah. So from there, I came up with this little saying. It's like, it's okay to take advantage of the advantages. It's okay to take advantage of the advantages that other people have had, but it's not okay to take advantage of the people themselves because of the advantages that those people have, right? So what I mean by that is that, like, we live in an age now, like, when I'm 44, so when I was growing up, information was not at our fingertips. We did not have cellular phones. We did not have the internet. We did not have, I remember when the internet first came out, dude, it was fucking crazy. I remember when MTV first fucking came out. I don't even think MTV's a thing anymore. So I think YouTube kind of, well, anyways, but it's like, you know, I remember when I wrote book reports, I had to use old-ass encyclopedias that my grandmother had, and the information was old as shit. And so it's like information is constantly updating, constantly growing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so we did not have those advantages that, like, people have nowadays. Like, we have them now, but we didn't have them then. So this is what I mean by, like, whenever, like, younger people can be, like, can still be knowledgeable, because, like, now the information is just there, you know, and it's like, I could just go on, my computer's right here. So, yeah, so it's on the internet, you know what I'm saying? So you can just go in and, like, start deciphering shit yourself, and you, like, order books that you never would have had access to otherwise. Like, I never knew about half of the shit that I started learning when I started studying the occult. And if you don't have somebody there to guide you, even though the stuff is like older, you know, like, the stuff's been around a long time, but if you don't have access to it or don't even know that it exists because of the Christian hierarchy just, like, stopping all that information, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how are you supposed to find out? You know, like, you know, there's something going on. You know, there's, like, you've seen the shadow people. You've had visitors come to you in the middle of the night. You had dreams about aliens. You've had all this shit happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You've seen entities. You've experienced energies. You know what I'm saying? but you don't know where to go with that, because every time you go try to talk to somebody who's supposedly a learned spiritual teacher, it's normally a preacher, and they tell you that that's of the devil, that it's bad and shit like that, and or whatever, you know, whatever the fuck it is they say. And I don't think the devil's bad, obviously, because I work with Satan and Lucifer, you know what I'm saying? And that goes into the whole concept of what the devil actually is. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, I work with these entities, so obviously I like them. You know what I'm saying? And even goes as far as to say, like, some of them, I love them. You know, like they are my family. I've said this before. So whenever people are learning, like the youngsters, there's a certain age group, like they're an age, when you're growing up, there's a certain age where like you learn things faster than other ages. So I think it's advantageous for somebody who's older to listen to people who are younger, who grew up in an age whenever they were able to absorb this information, because they had it at their fingertips, and they were at an age where their brains absorb the information at a faster rate. This is not always true, but I've seen it to be true in a lot of senses. Like, we learn languages easier when we're kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's kind of that thing. So if they have this information, like, why not? You know, like they're more open to the information. They don't have all the, they may have some of the religious people telling them not, you know, religious influence of like their parents going to church or whatever like that, like trying to like stomp down their curiosities. However, they don't have as much as like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like I do, because I grew up in the shit. It was around my life for a long time. Anything that you do, anything is, oh, thank God. It's like, especially in the hood, for some reason, there's a lot of talk about God in the hood, but there ain't too much God shit fucking happening. There's like one church in the corner that I know down the street from here, and then there's a bunch of whores, a bunch of fucking crack, a bunch of fucking liquor, a bunch of shit like that, but they all talk about Jesus and God, like, oh, God this, God that. It's like, yeah, okay, motherfucker, yeah, so, and I'm over here fucking satanic, Luciferian, blah, 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 and I'm sober, and I don't fuck with whores. Well, paid prostitutes. Like, sometimes I've fucked with some chicks that turned out to be whores, but, yeah, so kind of talking in a loop now. I'm just kind of bullshitting, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right now. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, share with your friends. If you hate this video, share with your enemies. Have a good day. Oh, Kali is awesome. Kali, the Kali Yantra. All right, later.